he does. He varies. So thank you very much for inviting us. It's nice to see so many friendly faces and people that I know, so that's great. But I guess this is actually about developing people's minds and their brains differently. And I suppose you're thinking, musicians, how does that work? For me, I want to start by actually saying that this is actually about organisational power. Z is a tool in organisational power. Okay, of course, it wants to do something. I'm just going to put something in the background here while we're talking. IBM told me in February that we're probably one management school in the world out of 6 that has a robot that uses it in strange ways. We have lots of other robots like AMU does, I'm sure, lots of other research programs that you see going on in the background. But he's a working robot. Students get to work with him in entrepreneurship, in creativity, in research projects as well. So for me, that's kind of what this is about. It's about me as an educational psychologist and a management lecturer, learning to program and get my brain to work differently, and therefore being able to make sure that students are starting to think about that as well. So for us, it's about artificial intelligence and human intelligence and managing the space in between. And music helps to do that every single day. So in the background, there's just a few shots of robots, and it comes from something Rohan will show you later, which is called, we did a performance called Music Meets the Machine, and this is one of the backgrounds to that, and you can see all the different types of robotic things that go on in the world. There's Ziggy's cousin, you know. So I'll stop with that because it's terribly distracting, and everybody likes to watch it. Coming back to our keynote speaker, and you couldn't have given me a better segue, so thank you. Ziggy and the music are about authentic spaces. They're about taking students into a real space where they have to do something that makes them think, that gets them engaged in various things. And a couple of examples are, he's been a fortune teller. Vice Chancellor came to visit our faculty a couple of months ago. He was the chair and the host. So the dean was great. She walked around, had coffee, chatted away, and Ziggy did all the other bits, introduced all the people as well. So, but of course he's actually a student too, as well. And so Rohan works with me in my creativity critical thinking unit, and we teach music. Well, he teaches the music, I don't. To get students to understand whole brain theory. It's the summative theory in their unit. And we use music to help develop that concept within them about how they need to develop their brain in a holistic manner. And of course, out of our school of management and 140 academics or something like that, a musician and an educational psychologist program. I can't tell you that I'm a very good programmer. I can just get into that Python and start tweaking things now, but I really don't care about being a programmer. All I care about is that I know enough so the students will get some engagement. So this is a tool that will make them think things. As our lovely host said, Rohan and I run a social enterprise called Rock School. He's the music box, and I just do all the other bits. And I'll let him tell himself about himself so I don't ruin my boss anymore.
Hi, I'm Rohan. Diane actually has a very important role in my rock school. I couldn't do it without her. So I look after the music side of things. Thursday evenings we run the program at the UC, and people come and learn about the music. People come and learn about the music industry and form groups and play music together. Just studying the rest. And we do performances. We also also got a grant from Domino's this semester to take some of the musicians into a recording studio. So that's its first year running this year. So it's still quite new and exciting. And been getting some great video and other marketing tools for the program. So that's sort of the educational side of my rock school business. I also do private tuition, like teaching guitar and music theory and a bit of studio production. Within the creativity unit that me and Diane teach at the University of Canberra, as she said, we use music to engage the students into using a lot of different areas of the brain. And a really good example of using up to 6 different areas of the brain at any one time is someone performing in an orchestra. So obviously they might be holding their instrument, they're watching the conductor, they're also reading their music, they're listening to what they're playing, they're listening to what everyone else is playing, and listening to the music as a whole. And all those different activities are using different areas of the brain. So we try and explore whole brain theory within those classes. What are we going to from here?
So I guess, without seeming to be rude, that music and Rohan and Ziggy are tools of the trade to help people develop things. And I'm chatting because he's still misbehaving. And so I always say to people, you know, does your car work all the time? Does your laptop work all the time? No, he's a machine, he'll be the same. So he's just having a connection problem.
I'm going to play the video from our performance.
Yeah, sure.
So at the end of semester 2 last year, we decided to put on a musical performance which sort of turned into a theatrical performance, I guess. I was a musician and an actor in the performance and played a few of my compositions. There's some scenes with me and Ziggy, you know. Having a conversation.
I'm not good at technology.
drums over here, which we programmed him to do, which was difficult but fun at the same time.
And so the class that ran this performance, and it was about the fourth industrial revolution and how you need to think about your world that you're walking into as a student differently. MBAs, interns, undergrads in entrepreneurship and innovation, all working together to put on a performance that got them all thinking about what they need to do differently when they go out to work. And so, and also you can see this, these are the SciTech faculty's robots here. So, this little blue now robot, it was Rohan's companion in the show. Shall we show the other bit?
So here's a bit of dialogue.
Good morning, Rohan. How are you?
Good, thanks, man.
Rohan, how did you sleep?
Yeah, I slept well. How are you?
I am fully charged and ready to go.
What day is it?
It is Saturday.
Woohoo! So I don't have to work today.
Well, what do you consider work to be, Rowan?
Well, I am a musician, but today we can have fun.
So what are we going to do today then, Rowan?
We could have a jam.
That was sort of the introduction into my first song. So we're trying to kind of make the students aware of robots and artificial intelligence and what role they're playing in the future. I think there's already hotels in Asia where you're greeted by a robot and they probably ask you, if you need any directions or anything like that. So and it's about students being aware that there might be a robot or artificial intelligence in their workplace in the future.
November last year, one of the big banks called me. Hello, Diane, we're seeing what you do on LinkedIn and Twitter and so forth. We're looking for programs. You're asking me? We want them with social skills. We want them with training skills. We want them with emotional intelligence. A lot of people say soft skills, but I think the word's now essential skills. So between Rohan and I, we've had probably 4 interns. All of them have got jobs in the Big Four now because they're able to manage this and have enough language, confidence and engagement with those sorts of things in space. So I think all up, maybe about 35 students. In the music machine performance, there was, I think, about 30 students involved in the social media doing all sorts of things. So it's quite a complicated thing. But we might let Ziggy say hello now that he's behaving.
My name is Ziggy. I am a now robot. I am a staff member of the Business, Government and Law faculty at UC. Look me up in the staff directory to send me an email. You are probably wondering why you are here talking to a robot. Today I will be helping Rohan and Diane discuss the 4th Industrial Revolution, artificial intelligence to humans and the future of work, and the development of AI or human brains. It may come as a surprise to you, but in the future workplace, you may be working with many artificial intelligent robots like me. Hee hee hee. For Diane, Rohan and I, the future is already here. Yet, I will hand over to Diane while I prepare for my next activity. Talk soon.
You got to admit he's cute. We thought we'd also show him a little bit more advanced capabilities. He can be a bit slippery. He doesn't have feet like me. Well, I could be a bit slippery. So. And he's having some connection problems, so we have to leave his cord in, but we can take his power cord out. So we thought we'd show you a little bit more advanced stuff as well.
Is this the dance?
Yeah.
Dancing on tables.
Dancing.
Not recommended. Unless you're drunk.
Or a robot. So, because I haven't tested him, do you want to just put your hand on the back of the thing? So if you want to take some video, now would be the time.
Here's a little something I've been working on.
So we had a long conversation about him falling over, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I don't mind. The drums were 150 hours of programming. I guess I fiddled around for about 5 or 6 hours adjusting this program for today, slowing his elbows down, that sort of stuff. But it's not about Rohan and I. It's about the confidence tool. You know, it's about Ziggy being cute and small and being able to engage students, business students who think that artificial intelligence is a phone app. And yes, it is. And it's a laptop, and yes, it is. But if Rohan as a musician is replacing his drummer with a robot, boy, business needs to catch up. So that means us as academics and educators really need to start to think through how we engage in this spot in our classes on an everyday space. So this is a Michel Foucault theory, if you're interested. It's a Foucauldian theory on capillary power. So over the last 18 months in this space that Rohan and I have been working in, Ziggy, Rohan, myself, numerous students, probably about 400 by now, have all been doing things in this space with a robot, or bless the SciTech faculty's robots as well. About 90 different activities. As to get the idea of business people engaging in artificial intelligence in everyday spaces. So he's been in cafes, advertising. He's done numerous openings. He works with students all the time as well. But this is a Foucauldian theory on micropower and capillary power and productive power. So people, you know, oh, that's cute. What's that doing there, advertising a coffee shop? What, you know, as well. It's also about student engagement in a space where business and management students would not go easily. And so it's about managing that artificial and human intelligence space as well. Of course, you know, having Rohan younger is helpful because he's cool, I'm not. And so it brings in that youthful element and a broader range of engagement tools. Come on, over time. Okay. So it really is about managing the fourth industrial revolution in a business space as well. So for business and management students and their interaction with artificial intelligence. So I'd like to put a little bit more AI in him next year to get him a little bit more developed. I've been doing baby steps towards that as well. I said, not a programmer, it's hard work. But it really is about getting students to think, business and management students to think. If Rohan and I are doing things as an educational psychologist and a music performer and educator, why aren't we as educators engaging in this space more as well? So I don't want to be a programmer. Rohan quite likes it, he likes it as well. And if I'm going to be harsh on my colleagues, and no one else wants to learn to program. No one else came to the session. I brought 2 extra of my tutors because no one else wanted to come do it. But Diane, will you program it for us so that we can do some research? No. He's a working robot and he works with students. So there's a little bit about him here. You'll be able to see all the slides, all his technical details. It's of no mind to me. So, and then I guess questions because we're already in this space. We kind of do this on an almost daily basis now. So the future is already here. Thank you.
So, can I ask you a question? When you're working with these students,
Now he's behaved.
who are business and management students, who perhaps haven't thought about being in a workplace where robots and AR are going to be
on the customer service desk at the hotel.
Yes.
You know?
So how are your students reacting to the idea that they may need to learn to program? Is it the first time they've ever thought about it? How are they responding to what you're...
One of my final year marketing management students last semester did a project about that.
Yes.
And she only did a small sample because it was a short semester, 7-week thing. And she said, no, they're not thinking that. thus using that Foucauldian approach of capillary power and spreading spaces all over the place, so everyday spaces, little gadgets like him. We don't take them to educational institutions and train 10-year-olds. You know, this is about being visible, so that people start to feel a little bit more comfortable in that space. And in my mind, I have to say, it's all just about confidence. It's not really about anything else.
So do you think you're changing the way your business students are thinking about the future?
I think I've had more success with them than my faculty.
Right.
But they did buy him. He is $25,000. And so it was a big push for a school of management to have a robot. And really, if it wasn't for all of those things that we did, I'm sure they wouldn't have thought, yeah, that's a good idea. Because now they start to wheel me out.
Yeah.
Can you do this marketing thing for us? And I probably say yes to 2/3 and no to 1/3. It's not like I've got nothing else to do. And so I think my point is that as educators we need to engage more.
And one last question, if I can. Have you had any, so you're saying that your academic colleagues are a little bit resistant to these ideas. Has there been any change to the curriculum in your faculty?
We've just redone all of our business management, government management, all curriculum, all of them. So we've had this renewal process. And I rewrote, because I'm the convener for entrepreneurship and innovation degree, and that has it's embedded all over the place. So from that degree, it's part of a bigger suite of business, Bachelor of Businesses. So some of that is filtered through in that space. And in those degrees, of course, it's a big mix. We have education students and architects and all sorts of things, people students coming in. So I think that's it. And so I think there's a filtering, a little trickle of these things in. My MBA class, surprisingly, is 125 people this semester. And 8 of them are working on that network approach to projects. So there's 8 groups of people doing stuff this semester, which no doubt's going to terrify everybody. But anyway, so to get used to things. And of course, as I said, they'll come, can you program in for me? No, you need to get engaged in this spot. And coming back to your comments, you know, it's that research funding model that's part of the issue there. Oh, can we do some research with it? You know, as well. So anyway, something else?
Can we ask Ziggy a question?
Oh, he will be able to do things, but you normally have to program him to respond. So,
okay, so
if you want to come closer, you have to come closer and have a look. He's got to see your face.
So what would happen if I did?
Or he'll bite you. So he'll look at you, and if you say, "How are you?"
How are you, Ziggy?
No, not Ziggy. How are you?
How are you?
He's thinking, do I know this guy? Am I being harassed?
It's like a dog, I feel like I saw.
Yeah.
Let it stiff my hand.
So he will respond. He actually, I've come to the conclusion without any verifiable evidence that he doesn't like male voices as much as he likes female.
When me and Diane tested it, he responded to Diane every time and not all the time.
And I didn't have a croaky voice.
But when I put on a high-pitched voice, he responded to that.
So you can see him, he is keeping his balance. He does have autonomous modes, and he's got keywords in him that can respond. Failing that, you can program him to say, and so the program for the cafe, would you like to hear more information? You say yes, and he'll tell you more information. The specials of today are blah, 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 you know, just like a good sales bot, right? Or no, and he'd say, well, enjoy your afternoon. Please go down to the cash register area. So he will do it, but it's also about, and so he needs to see your face. And then
His eyes went green a couple of times.
oh, it's him thinking, yeah.
Oh, okay, well,
He's not a
that
green
was
eye
when he was
monster.
like
No.
looking at you.
It's just him thinking.
And what does it mean when his eyes go red?
Oh, look, for me, it's the warning sign, right? You know. So when we were programming, we kept going red, and I thought, oh my God, what have I done? And remember, I'm not an expert in this. We're novices. We're just baby stepping in the space. So
Should we test the beginning?
that's right. But you say, how are you? So,
How are you? How are you?
misbehaving.
What
folks.
day is it?
Today is Tuesday.
Ask a question with an emotional response.
How are
learning skills. And so how do you envision programming these robotic devices and artificial intelligence on that emotional and social capacity, especially with your background as an educational psychologist?
Look, I take quite a simple approach to that. He programs like I am, or like Rohan is. And so for me, those essential skills are quite important. So when he was talking to the Vice-Chancellor, he was cheeky, and he said things like, and yes, you think you're the boss, but really it's me, and so that just made the PC smile, right? So, and I've got him programmed as my EA at the door some days, and he'll say, oh, she thinks she's the boss, but really it's just me. So, so I think that's about your human intelligence, and that's that space in between. You've hit the nail on the head. It's that engagement stuff. So, to me, he's a bit like a 2-year-old. We were testing walking a few months ago. Down the hallway, he was off and running before I could catch him. Dan, how did you get to be a 2-year-old? And then he fell over, thank goodness. Anyway, a final question? So don't be scared. I guess we learned to program before we had the training, to be honest. It was just a bit experimental. Keeping in mind that I guess we're both pretty entrepreneurial.
My battery will soon need charging.
Nice to be reminded. Thank you very much.